Well, in today's Hey Ladies series, we are talking dating and relationships, from the return of cuffing season and dating in the DMV to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett's recently admission of being in an open relationship. We have a whole lot to sort through, but here to make us and help us make sense of it all is author and dating expert Monique Kelley. Hello.
Hey, ladies.
Hey! You look fabulous. Listen, I know what cuffing season is, and I think it's basically trying to get booed up because it's getting cold.
Yes, but with that weather you have right now, it looks like you have a little bit more time.
I was about to ask you, when does it officially start, and how will it change, or will it change for us this year?
So cuffing season changed a lot with the pandemic, because traditionally cuffing season usually starts around now, around the fall. You see a lot of singles start to get booed up so that when those cold months hit, they have someone to cuddle up with, right? So last year with the pandemic, you noticed people started cuffing in the spring, because I think everyone has a little bit of PTSD. They were in quarantine. And right now, I think singles are even rushing more to cuff for cuffing season, just in case we have quarantine on top of cuffing season. So normally the relationships usually fizzle out right after Valentine's Day. And then by the spring, the singles are back on the market when the weather is warm.
Wow. Okay. Or if you're frugal, maybe right before Valentine's Day, just
Right.
save a couple dollars.
Save some money.
Exactly. You know it's expensive out here.
Hello.
All right, so we wanted to talk about dating in the DMV. Actually, there was an article that came out, and it allegedly says that dating in the DMV is actually pretty great, #1 in the country. And everybody, the comments, exactly, they were like, is there another DMV? Are y'all talking about like the Department of Motor Vehicles? Because you're definitely not talking about DC. They said specifically DC. What are your thoughts on that?
So although I live in LA, I went to high school in the DMV area, and most of my friends are in the DMV area. So here's the thing you have to keep in mind. Whether you're in LA, whether you're in the DMV area, whether you're in Chicago, wherever you are, there's always going to be issues when it comes to dating. So I like to tell singles, you have to change your dating narrative. You have to start saying, yeah, I live in the DMV area. Sometimes it might be challenging meeting people, but you have to open yourself up. Think about it. You guys are in a place with some of the most powerful people in the world. You have people who are helping this country run, who are working for the government. So you have to start looking at it differently and start being a little bit more optimistic and really start embracing where you are. Because wherever you're going to be, if you have the same attitude about dating, if it's negative, no matter where you live, you're going to have a negative result.
Marissa, did you embrace that?
I felt that. I was like, she's speaking to me. Come through, because I'm pessimistic, and I shouldn't be.
You should be optimistic.
Yeah.
You should be optimistic because you got all of that.
You're right, Holly. You're right.
You're just,
But you know what? I don't want you to be so hard on yourself, because here's the thing. Dating is brave. You're putting yourself out there on the regular basis for disappointment, for hurt, and things like that. So you have to be a little bit more kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, because it can be frustrating. But on those days when it is frustrating, I have to remind you, all you need is just one good man.
Oh, no, Monique, that's so great that you brought that up, that you only just need one, because apparently Will and Jada don't need just one. So obviously, now we'll talk about the marriage narrative, not the dating narrative. They came out, Will specifically, and basically said, hey, we have an open relationship, and it's great, and it works for us. How realistic is that for regular folk? And I mean regular folk in the fact that obviously they live in a different world than most of us live.
So let's talk about regular folk. Let's keep it real, okay? Because for regular folk like you, me, and a majority of people, an open marriage would not work. An open dating relationship, when you're thinking you're in a committed long-term relationship, would not work. So for Will and Jada, what I will say to be positive is I can appreciate that he's not leaving Jada out there to dry. She had a little entanglement, as we like to say, and at least he's admitting that she's not the only person in that relationship. So if you like it, I love it. What works for them, they've been married for over 20 years, great. But for regular folk, we typically want a committed relationship with one person. And I think it's important when you get into a relationship, you set those boundaries early on. This is what I'm looking for. This is what my expectations are. No, I don't want you dating other people. I don't want nothing open. We got to be honest about that. Because I think a lot of times single folks, especially when we try to be cool, like I'm cool, you know, I'm just going to let you date whoever you want to date and what happens, happens. But for most women, deep down inside, that don't work for us. So be honest about that from the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. You're basically saying make sure you tell them it's closed, locked down, we're throwing away the key. Okay, completely shut down. I should say Will Smith did say he does not recommend this for everybody.
He did.
Ain't that the truth? All right. Always good to have you on.
Yeah, you're
Thank
great.
you so much for all the tips, and thanks for being real.